A lot of you studied with this problem. Maybe it was unclear what they were asking for, but I want to make sure that you understand the relationship between fractions, decimals, and percentages. Okay, and so they give us this problem, this first table, and as an example. And so the hope was that by seeing the first table that you would understand what you needed to do in the second table. And so you need to recognize that for every fraction, there is a decimal representation of that fraction. And so in the case of 1 divided by 2, or sorry, in the case of 1/2, we need to recognize that 1/2 is the same as 1 divided by 2. So if we do 1 divided by 2, and that's going to give us what the decimal representation is of that particular fraction. And so 1 divided by 2, you can punch that in your calculator. It's going to be the 0.5. They had a 0 there, but remember that trailing 0 doesn't actually do anything for the problem. In fact, you didn't even have to put the 0 at the front. You could have just said 0.5, right? But 0.5 is the decimal representation of the fraction 1/2, okay? So that's how we get the decimal representation of it. We just do a division problem, dividing the numerator by the denominator. Now that we have it in decimal form, to get the percent form, it's very easy. You just need to take that 0.5 and multiply that times 100. And when we do that, we get 50%. Okay, so that's where this number comes from here. So let's do the same thing with this other table that we have. 3 over 8, or 3/8, as we would read the fraction. 3/8 is equal to 3 divided by 8. Let me silence my phone before that dings anymore. Never get any text until you're trying to record a math video, right? So 3 divided by 8, we can use our calculator for that. We're also good at division, so we can do that if we want to. What is 3 divided by 8? Let's see. That's 3.0. Put a point here. 8 will go into 3. I'm sorry, 8 will go into 30 3 times. That's a 24. And when we subtract that, we get 6. Add another 0 on there. 8 will go into 67 times. So 8 times 7 is 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. Add one more 0 so that we can actually divide evenly into the number. So 8 will go evenly into 45 times. And so now we're done. So the decimal representation of 3/8 is going to be 0.375. Now again, once you get the decimal version, the percent version is easy. You're just going to take 0.375 and multiply that times 100. Now again, you can punch this in your calculator, but there's a little trick with multiplying a decimal number by any number that begins with 1 and ends in 0. Is however many zeros come after that 1, you just take your decimal place and you move it to the right that many places. So there's 2 zeros after 1 here when we multiply by 100. And so we're just going to take the point at the beginning of 375 and move it 2 places to the right to get us 37.5. If you don't know that little trick, that's fine. Just making you aware of that, and we'll go over that in class as well. But that would be our final answer for the percent version of the fraction 3/8, 37.5%. And I'm going to try to stop the video. There we go.